Have you ever pondered the complex relationship between Somalia and Ethiopia, two neighboring nations with a rich and intertwined history? These two nations, sharing a border and much more, present an intriguing intersection of cultures, politics and histories. Imagine two houses, side by side, painted with similar colors of rich tradition and vibrant culture. Now try to picture the invisible line that separates them, a line that has sparked conflicts and disputes over the years. That's the geographical proximity of Somalia and Ethiopia for you. The shared cultural aspects between the two are undeniable. From the aromatic spices that waft through their kitchens to the rhythmic beats that echo in their music, Somalia and Ethiopia are like two sides of the same coin. Yet like most coins, they have their unique imprints, their distinct identities. However, their relationship isn't just about shared culture and proximity. Seeds of conflict have sprouted over the years, adding layers of complexity to their relationship. To understand this relationship, we must delve into the historical timeline of these two nations. Our journey begins in the ancient times, where Somalia and Ethiopia were part of the land of Punt, known for its wealth and the trade of exotic goods. This land was a bustling center of commerce, with merchants bartering goods like myrrh, ebony and gold. The people of these two nations, though distinct, shared vibrant interactions, fostering a unique blend of cultures and traditions. Trade routes were the arteries of their connection, pumping goods and ideas between the two societies. Yet, as in any relationship, it wasn't always harmonious. Disputes over territory and resources sparked conflicts that hinted at the complex relationship to come. As we move forward in time, we encounter the colonial era, a period that added a new layer of complexity. European powers, in their scramble for Africa, drew arbitrary borders with little regard for the historical and ethnic landscapes of the region. These borders sliced through communities, fueling tension and resentment. Somalia was divided between Britain and Italy, while Ethiopia, notably, remained one of the only African nations to resist colonization. Nevertheless, the influence of European powers left its mark, creating a power dynamic that would echo through the centuries. The colonial era, with its arbitrary borders and power dynamics, set the stage for the modern conflicts we see today. But to truly understand the present, we must delve deeper into the past and explore the subsequent chapters of this intricate tale. As Somalia and Ethiopia emerged from the shadows of colonialism, they found themselves entangled in a web of conflict and cooperation. The newfound independence was a beacon of hope for both nations, but the light of freedom also cast long shadows of uncertainty. The first major post-independence conflict between the two nations was the Ogaden War in the late 70s. Somalia, seeking to incorporate the predominantly Somali-inhabited Ogaden region into a Greater Somalia, launched a large-scale invasion of Ethiopia. The ensuing war was a brutal affair that left deep scars on both sides. However, it's essential to note that periods of cooperation have punctuated these conflicts. In the early 80s, both nations had to set aside their differences to face a common enemy, famine. The droughts that ravaged the Horn of Africa led to widespread starvation, prompting Somalia and Ethiopia to cooperate in delivering aid and providing refuge to each other's affected populations. Fast forward to the early 21st century, and the dynamics have shifted again. The rise of extremist groups like Al-Shabaab in Somalia has necessitated a cooperative approach between the two nations. Ethiopia has played a significant role in AMISOM, the African Union's peacekeeping mission in Somalia, helping to combat the shared threat of terrorism. These conflicts and periods of cooperation have had profound impacts on both nations and the wider region. The Ogaden War, for instance, exacerbated political instability and economic hardship in both countries. On the flip side, the cooperative efforts to combat famine and terrorism have shown the potential for shared progress and stability. However, the legacy of these historical events continues to shape the relationship between the two nations. Old wounds are slow to heal, and the shadow of past conflicts looms large over present-day interactions. The issues of border disputes, shared resources and political alliances remain contentious points, Despite their shared history and intertwined fates, Somalia and Ethiopia continue to grapple with the legacy of their past. The journey towards a peaceful and cooperative future is a long and winding one, filled with lessons from history that both nations must heed to navigate their shared destiny. The relationship between Somalia and Ethiopia is not black and white, but rather a spectrum of greys. In our journey from ancient times to the present day, we've seen conflicts and cooperation, colonial influences, and the struggle for independence. This intricate dance of power, identity, and survival adds layers of complexity to their relationship. It's a tale of two nations intertwined by geography, history, and shared challenges. In understanding their past, we might find clues to their future and perhaps a path to